Hi, I'm Dr. Chris Helmick, DCE. Today I'm going to be talking about thyroid problems. And I realize you're watching this for one of three reasons. Group one is you think you may have a thyroid problem. Your labs are normal, but you still have symptoms of thyroid problem. The second type of person watching this video is the ones that have already been diagnosed with thyroid problem. But you're not happy. You're taking thyroid meds, but you still have the symptoms. The third type is that someone has been diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroiditis. Now this is an autoimmune problem. Now these people are taking thyroid medications, but they still feel crummy. Now here's some critical information you need to understand. The thyroid hormone system has over 20 ways to go wrong. That bears repeating. There's over 20 ways that the thyroid system can go wrong. And only one of these responds well to taking thyroid hormones. Now I've been practicing here in Scottsdale, Arizona since 1995. I consult with over 300 chiropractors across the country. My postgraduate studies and continuing education focuses on functional neurology, blood chemistry, autoimmune disorders, functional endocrinology. I do my postgraduate education through several different sources, including the Carrick Institute, Johns Hopkins, and Harvard Medical School. I'm the author of the book on chronic health conditions. Thyroid problems are incredibly common, especially among women. Some 20 million Americans are affected by thyroid disorders. That's 1 in 13 people. And more than half of those people are unaware that they even have a thyroid problem because frequently it goes undiagnosed until it gets severe. According to the National Women's Health Information Center, 1 in 8 women will experience a thyroid disorder at some time in their lifetime. The reason why this fact may surprise you is because you've probably never heard it explained to you. That's because most doctors are only vaguely familiar with the thyroid disorders. And most women with thyroid problems have never been evaluated completely. Unfortunately, the traditional one-size-fits-all replacement model of taking thyroid hormone is just not good enough. Thyroid problems are much too complex. Now let's talk about the thyroid gland for a bit. The thyroid runs your metabolism. It's the gas pedal of the body. Thyroid hormones have a direct effect on most organs, including the heart, which beats faster and harder when influenced by increased thyroid hormones. And this is why heart problems can often accompany chronic thyroid problems in women. And perhaps why heart problems are even more common in women under the age of 50. T3 is a more biologically active form of the hormone. It's more important for cellular function. And in fact, most of T4, 8%, is converted to T3 in the body's peripheral tissues. So T4 is just a precursor for the more active hormone T3. One of the problems in some thyroid disorders is that you may have trouble converting T4 into T3 in your tissues. Have you been checked for this? This can create a T3 deficiency, disrupting the body's ability to properly regulate metabolism, leading to specific symptoms. In our clinic, what we do is, instead of treating the symptom, we're going to treat you, the patient. In medicine, what they usually do is take the patient, give them a diagnosis, and treat that diagnosis. Our clinic, we're going to take the patient, give them a complete metabolic workup, and this necessary neurological evaluation. Now, how do we successfully treat patients with thyroid conditions? We do this by using specific metabolic and neurological protocols. Metabolic testing. Testing like sensitivity to determine if you have any sensitivities to gluten, milk, eggs, soy, yeast. If you're sensitive to any of these food groups, you could be making your condition worse by the food that you're eating, by causing inflammation in your body and your brain. And the only way to find out if you're suffering with any of these types of sensitivities is to run the test. We also do a complete metabolic panels. And we use these because the complete metabolic panel helps out immensely. We also do a lipid panel, a complete CBC with autodifferential. So that way we can address your adrenal glands, your liver, kidneys, red and white blood cells, and the gut function with the above test. All this can be affected with chronic health conditions. By addressing any problems with your adrenal glands, blood chemistry, or gut function, we can help you heal faster. The complete metabolic panel also allows us to check your blood glucose levels, since glucose and oxygen are needed by the brain to function properly. Now, what other tests are for the thyroid necessary? Well, you have thyroid stimulating hormone, or TSH. This is a message sent down from the gland in the brain down into the pituitary. And free T3 It's an important hormone produced by the thyroid gland. It's considered to be the more biologically active hormone of the thyroid. You've got free T4, another important hormone produced by the thyroid gland. You also have TPG, thyroid binding globulin. This measures the amount of proteins in the blood that transport the thyroid hormones into the cells. Elevated testosterone can lower these TPG levels, and elevated estrogen can raise those levels. Both can produce hypothyroid symptoms. Thyroid antibodies, you have TPG and TPO. Those are checked in suspected case of autoimmune disorders. You've got total T4, and this is a reflection of how much total T4 hormone is in the blood. You've got something called free thyroxine index, or FTI. This is an estimate of how much thyroxine is in the blood. You've got resin T3 uptake. This tests and measures the unsaturated binding sites on the thyroid proteins. Also, there's an adrenal stress index. You can test the adrenal glands with this test, and this is a salivary test, a saliva test, much like a DNA test. And the adrenal glands, they sit right above the kidneys, and they're your stress organs, meaning that they react to stress. If the patient's been currently under stress or in the past a large amount of stress, this test is a must. If the patient's suffering from insomnia and or diabetes, then this test is a must as well. It's going to measure their cortisol levels. We also have immune panels, which are extremely important. You could be suffering from an autoimmune condition. An autoimmune condition or autoimmune thyroid is called Hashimoto's thyroiditis. Your immune system could be attacking your thyroid. And this is why the immune panels are so important, and not just the TPO, but also the TPG. Now there's two parts to the immune system. You have a Th1 and a Th2. You have to make sure those are balanced. You can also check intestinal permeability. This test is done to determine if the patient suffers from something called leaky gut syndrome. Now this describes a condition of altered or damaged bowel lining caused by antibiotics, toxins, poor diet, parasites, infection. This can lead to increased permeability of the gut wall and toxins, microbes, undigested food, and waste larger than normal molecules can get through there. There's hormone panels. We can check hormone panels to determine if the patient suffers from low testosterone because of estrogen or progesterone levels. Symptoms related to decreased hormone levels may include depression, fatigue, mental fogginess, mood swings, hot flashes, sweating attacks, weight gain, and decreased physical stamina. We also do a thorough neurological examinations on the patients as well. We do this because the brain is the master control system. It controls everything in the body. If there's a dysfunction in the central nervous system, it has to be addressed for maximal recovery. Now, once we've run all the necessary tests, we can determine your specific condition. We can successfully treat you via neurological and natural nutritional protocols and dietary changes. Ask yourself the following. How has your thyroid condition affected your relationships, your finances, your family, activities? What's it cost you in time, money, happiness, and sleep? And where do you picture yourself in the next 1 to 5 years if your problem doesn't get taken care of? And what's it worth to you if you can improve your condition? If you'd like more information on the different metabolic pathways of the thyroid and how you can have normal TSH levels or normal blood tests and still have thyroid symptoms, please fill out the form below or give our office a call at 480-991-9355. We'll send you out a free video explaining why you still can have thyroid symptoms while taking the thyroid medication and having normal lab readings. I'm Dr. Heimlich. Thank you very much for listening. Hope this has been informational. Have a great day.